volleys are like the sniper rifle of tennis shots, or should be. It should be like the most precise, most accurate, you know, placement. They're essentially touch shots. They're placement shots. Depending on the point scenario, we have opportunities to hit offensively, but the majority of volleys really should be viewed as kind of setup shots. And then in singles, frequently, like, you'll have literally half the court open, and so if you just place it, you know the scenario I'm talking about, where like you have hit a good approach shot, and you have a volley, you know, hit to you, and if you just hit that side, you know you're going to win the points. We just gave you half the court to work with, and even within the context of a cooperative rally, it's very hard for most players to place the ball just in half the court. And so you mentioned yesterday that you come from a very traditional punch or block kind of background as far as your net game like development, and that's definitely, you can definitely see that. And so if you watch the motion of your racket, the face especially, we see kind of two different patterns. Either motion up to contact and the racket stopping abruptly right at that kind of spot, and there's no kind of forward momentum through contact at all. Everything kind of hits a brick wall right at contact. Or occasionally you actually recoil in a tense way from contact. This is off a feed, this first one. So here's like from here to here, everything looks really nice and clean and simple. Like this looks really, really nice actually. And then from the point of contact, watch what happens to your racket. Like a really, really big, this clearly is doing nothing for the actual shot. As we mentioned yesterday, you know, contact happens between 2 and 4 thousandths of a second. So it's not like you're trying to, it's not like you could possibly do anything to manipulate the ball in that amount of time. For me, what this is just purely huge amounts of tension right around the point of contact, where you're trying to make the ball go in a certain spot, and there's just this contortion that's happening right around the point of contact. All right, so I'm going to contrast that with the couple of volleys that I just hit. We'll just play these in full motion first. At full speed, what do you notice about how the racket's moving? Let's wait for a couple more forehands. Any immediate thoughts?
Well, you know, on your forehand, there is a bit of a recoil.
Yes,
compared to your backhand.
There's some recoil too on my backhand side. I probably wasn't quite. It's hard to see from here.
Yeah.
But there is recoil on both sides. That's good that you picked that up in full motion. You've got good eyes. The difference between my recoil and your recoil is my recoil is happening during contact, and yours is happening after contact. And so my racket is being pushed back by the ball because my hand is looser than yours. And so as the ball meets the racket's being pushed back because I don't have a death grip. The racket's being pushed back. The ball is winning the collision with the racket. And so there's natural recoil, but as that happens, watch my hand, not the racket, watch my hand. My hand continues its momentum forwards.
I see.
While my racket recoils back. So what Kirby's going to do is toss to your forehand. I'll demonstrate this for you first. You're going to start off within arm's length of the net. She's going to toss to your forehand side. You're going to do the same thing that you're used to doing to set up, which is just make a unit turn and lay the racket back. And I want you to experience just letting the ball bounce off your strings. So we're not going to hit it. We're not going to punch it. We're not going to even guide it. We're just going to let it bounce off for now. Got it. So unit turn and bounce. So your goal right now, your challenge is to do nothing. And just let it bounce off. You're still hitting a little bit. Yep, that's nothing. Good. Why didn't that one make it over?
I hit off.
Good, nice. You have way better awareness of that than most people. That's a good job. All right, now backhand side. Same thing. Unit turn to your left side and do nothing. Just find the right contact, the right angle with the racket. Yep, and just leave it there. Okay, and now Kirby's gonna toss and alternate from forehand to backhand. And I want you to continue to experiment with that, with your hand grip pressure, and try to find the minimum amount of tension and effort that's just off center that it takes to send the ball back. Good. When there's no energy as far as a swing is concerned, going through contact, and we're completely reliant on just hitting the right spot on the strings, just a little bit off center will absolutely destroy, what should happen. And so this is part of the reason why we're doing this, is to start to become more acutely aware of what exactly is happening here. Because if we can't just hit the ball cleanly, then hitting 30 feet away over and over again, like, forget about it. It's not going to happen. And most players, when they hit short, try to make up for that by squeezing harder. They say, oh, I didn't give it enough. I need to hit further, and so therefore I must need more energy. And so it's actually self-defeating. They get more and more tense instead of making better and better contact and actually just hitting the ball cleaner. All right, and we're gonna add a layer to this. You're gonna stay there. Kirby's gonna stay where she is. And now your goal is to drop your volleys into the basket. Okay. And so you're gonna experiment with different angles and different firmnesses with your hand. Still not hitting the ball at all. Sure. Just experimenting with different amounts of loft and different amounts of pressure on the grip to find the right trajectory. Yep. So play with it. Let's start off with all forehands. Try to, oh yeah, nice, awesome. Try to find just the right angle. And where I placed it, you need just the right angle to hit that shot, and just the right pressure. Really nice, good adjustment, good job. Always training. It appears you have a little bit finer control over the feel here on your backhand side.
Well,
so we're going to about double the distance between you and the target. Now, it's important to realize that not only has the distance between you and the target increased quite a lot, but the distance between you and where the ball is coming from has also increased a lot. And so there will need to be a little more energy through contact to achieve that depth, but it's much lower than if the ball was still being tossed from here. And so the net increase is actually quite small. Yes. So nice shot. Every rep, you're going to make a small adjustment to either angle or firmness. Let me just show you. Here's number one. There's like a definite forward guide here. There's also some recoil. It was just a little wobbly because it was a little off center. That's fine, but forward momentum, and this is a pretty good copy of what I was showing before with relaxed hand and good focused direction of movement with the racket. I don't think you need this much of a guide yet. It's probably a little overdone for how close this target is. But I do like the direction that you gave the ball. So I would say something close to that first one, but just not quite as much movement with the racket. Just a little bit more subtle with the movement forward. So here's I'm just going to play through these. Here's your last four. Good direction, John. Good job. So now they're looking the same.
Yeah.
That's the whole idea.
It's that subtle bump.
If we want the same result, we need to be able to execute the same motion through contact. Okay, Kirby, can you please move the target to like 2 feet behind the service line. And now Kirby's going to feed with her racket from back in no man's land.
Okay. And my target is the basket.
Yep.
Okay.
Same progression. It's going to take a little bit more kind of purposeful energy through the ball, but not a lot, because again, Kirby is increasing the energy she's giving to you.
Sure.
All 4 hands, please, start. That's nice, John. That's really nice, really nice. Great precision on that volley, John. I want you to look at what these are looking like right now.
There's a little bit of a stop. I'm coming through, but I'm also stopping.
Yes.
So it's not a smooth.
Yes, that's a good way of saying it.
So,
Yes.
you know, I'm hitting it, I'm going through, but then I'm stopping.
Yes.
Rather than having it be like just a smooth, natural deceleration of the.
Yeah. It's not possible to have active movement through contact unless you make contact somewhere other than the very end of your reach or your extension. That makes sense? So if max extension is contact, then contact will always be made with an abrupt stop of momentum. And so we ideally want to make contact at least a couple inches further back from there so we can have positive direction of momentum and energy out towards the ball. That make sense? Really nice, John. Keep grooving that. Same feel. Really nice, really nice. Keep grooving that. Check these out. These like first like 3 or 4 are really exactly what I'm looking for. There's actual movement, direction being given to the ball, but in a very precise, controlled way.
Agreed.
This is exactly what I'm looking for. And so here's volleys yesterday. Just look for kind of feel and so yeah, there's just a lot of angst, like right at the moment of contact, especially.
Sure. It's like I'm tensing up, waiting for the bus to crash.
So yeah, there's varying degrees of execution here.
Yeah.
They're all much more calm than before. But some of them have that flow to it, and other ones still are a little bit abrupt. Like those last 2, that last forehand, that last backhand, both had that calm flow to them.
I've really uncorked it here on my forehand. It really is looking a lot better.
A nice backhand too. Really, really nice. This is exactly the way I executed earlier.
Yeah.
Hand continuing to move through calmly and off center hit, but natural recoil of the racket. Kirby's going to move the basket up to like, let's say right around the service line, please, Kirby, the target basket. And now you guys are going to rally. So there's going to be more variation now, the shots that you're receiving. And we're going to test your ability to kind of a little more on the fly execute the smooth guide.
But my target's still there. You said we're rallying.
Yes. So Kirby's going to be right behind the basket, and she's just going to guide it back to you. Good, John. That's it. All right, it's good. Thanks, Kirby. Yeah, really nice job in the backhand. Like this is a great example of everything we're working on. Quiet racket face,
quiet.
movement through contact,
Very quiet.
and a little bit of recoil.
And I'm in balance too, which is nice because I'm ready for the next volley.
Yeah, that's an overall just excellent example of what we're trying to accomplish. That's really nice looking. A little bit tight, but right idea.
A little bit. Yeah. I still came through.
Yep, you're moving through it.
But a little stiff, I think.
That was better.
I mean, the whole session was better.
Oh, yeah, for sure. Yeah, we're just at the point now where I'm trying to make sure you know, like, what else we still need to,
Yeah,
you know,
for
accomplish. Like, there's no, the overall, you know, look and feel is totally different from where we started.
I agree.
Pretty nice on that backhand, too.
Yeah.